it's going to go over 100 hours. I got 97.5 on it. Just to start with, I'll let you know what I've done to it. I just put this new FMF pipe on. My old one, I smashed it all up. I've had to put new rear plastic on because somebody pulled a goon move and ripped it off. Other than that, the only thing that I don't have that's stock are the bark busters and the skid plate. Like all 2020 KTMs, this one leaks from the power valve. I try to keep it clean, but I'm not really that worried about it. Just before I go riding, I'm not a 300 guy. I really think they're overrated generally. However, there's obviously a great place for them, and they're really popular. What I have not liked about them in the past is that for me they've got too much torque, and when you get into places where traction's an issue and things are steep and side hill, I just couldn't keep the old 300s going straight, and I couldn't keep them getting traction. The 250 for me was much better, had a better range of torque, and the nice thing with the 250 is they rev out a lot faster. They just seem freer, and they put out pretty much just a little less peak horsepower. So if you really needed the power, the 250 had it. Now you come to the 2020 XCW 300. This power is completely different. It is so mild, I would call it insipid, very linear. I've never had a bike that I've had it twisted to the stop more. It just seemed like seems like it takes forever to get going. But that said, a lot of that is just expectations in your mind. I expected a certain snap when I got to a certain RPM range, and it just is not there. So now, after 100 hours, I use the clutch just about as much on this, or more, on this thing than I do the 250F. It has a power that will, for a 300, it just makes traction. It's still not as good as a 250F, but it makes traction. And there's a lot there if you do need it. A little fan of the clutch, but again, it takes a while for the motor to get up there. You have to, for a guy like me that's been on 250s forever, 2 strokes and 4 strokes, it seems like it takes forever for the power to get to what you want, and it probably took me 30 hours to get a handle on that. Even when you want a quick brap, I was just not sure how to regulate it, because I'd either be too slow on it and slam into the face of something, or go the other way and I'd have too much. Yeah, it's just a for me anyways, a odd dynamic going on there. But a nice flowy single track and all that kind of stuff, this thing has a broad spread of power, and you can go from lugging up to really revving it, so you don't have to shift as much at, let's say, a 250 XC. So yeah, that's awesome. It can go through the woods in a hurry. frame and suspension, if any of you have ridden the older XCWs, you know that they tended to be kind of wallowy beasts. The PDS in the rear is actually pretty good. It works over a wide, or not going to say wide, but way wider variety of terrain and speeds than the old ones used to. It responds really well for like side hill hack and stuff. It keeps the tire on the ground. The front, on the other hand, is really soft. It feels like you put on the brakes and the front brake, and it likes to go down. I will say that I haven't had any real bottoming issues at my speed and my weight. I haven't had any real bottoming issues. It takes a bit to get a handle on, like going downhill. The front tends to want to dip a little bit more than I'm used to, but when it comes to just riding, it's totally fine, and it soaks stuff up really well in the soft stuff. Overall, it's very stable chassis. Yeah, I'm comfortable on it from wide open in sixths to hitting stuff in first. Or actually, usually in first, you're just looking for traction. Works good.